welcome to a winter edition of What's Growin' On. I'm Jayne Spooner. I'm a University of Minnesota Master Gardener here in Rice County, and I'm out here outside in downtown Faribault, and let's just say the weather out here today is just a little bit frightful, but I know a place where there's some delightfulness. So we're going to walk into the Paradise and we're going to visit some of the vendors that come here every week here for the next couple of weeks, and then on a monthly basis to the Winter's Farmers Market. And we're going to do a little grocery shopping, a little gift shopping, because there's all kinds of greatness in there. So come on, let's go take a look. Hi, we're here with Tiffany Tripp, and Tiffany is actually the founder, the creator of this Winter's Farmers Market here at the Paradise Center for the Arts. How long has this been in existence? How many years have you been doing it?
3 full years. We're just starting our 4th year.
Okay. So, and I know that you also do a summer farmers market in Medford as well. Are you coordinating that, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, I don't actually coordinate that. That was coordinated by Jennifer Kath, who's also a vendor here at this market.
All right, we'll talk to her about that a little bit. But and I know what was kind of your inspiration to bring a winter farmers market to the area?
Well, I would say really a couple of things. Part of it was based on our own business and where we were at. It was fall of 2016. The regular season had ended, and we were going to have lots of eggs over the winter. We had just started raising ducks for eggs, so where were we going to sell all of these eggs without the regular farmers market season going on? And I had a conversation with a friend who said, well, why don't you go to a winter farmers market in a nearby town? And I just went, why don't we have one in our town?
The proverbial light bulb went on, right?
Yeah. And so I really just started talking with some other vendors that would possibly have products over the winter, maple syrup, honey, baked goods, to see if they were interested in selling outside of the regular season, and they were.
Yeah. So basically, you don't allow like crafters or artisans in here. It's all strictly some type of food that you are featuring here.
Yeah. So the focus is all on local foods and products of the farm. So something that derives from a product raised on that person's farm. There's a couple of things behind that. Partially because we're doing a collaboration here at the Paradise Center for the Arts. They have a holidays sale going on from right before Thanksgiving up until Christmas.
Okay.
So that's over 20 local artisans are exhibiting their products there. So we didn't want to compete with them. We also have limited space.
Right.
So keeping it focused on the local foods, the local farm products helped us just kind of hone it in. And I'd say the third thing really is my passion towards food and small farms. Really wanted to, one, provide a place for the community to find those products that they're looking for in the summertime year-round, and two, a place for local farmers and food makers to be able to sell their products.
Okay, so let's start with what you sell and what led you to sell the type of products like duck eggs. I mean, all I remember was duck eggs was my grandma used to hatch ducks at the farm, but never really thought about eating them or using them. And so tell us a little bit of the difference between duck eggs and chicken eggs, and can you use them just like a regular egg, or or do you have to adjust your baking, or even if there's like a more nutrient value that...
You're making me hungry. I was hungry before we started this. So this, we really started our farm, by the way. Our farm is Gray's Farm, located here in Faribault. And we started our farm with a few chickens back in 2015. And today we still raise chickens. We've gone from about 20 chickens our first year to the next year we'll have about 400.
Oh my gosh.
We raise our chickens free range. They have lots of space to roam around, and so you're getting a local fresh egg. Chicken eggs, and then our duck eggs are also free range, and they're fed organic feed. The duck eggs, if I pull one of these out and show you next to the chicken egg, the first thing people notice is the size. So duck eggs are a lot larger. They have a much larger yolk than a chicken egg, so that brings out a lot more flavor. And I could really talk for a long time about the benefits of duck eggs, but really quickly, they're higher in nutrients. All the nutrients that a chicken egg has, a duck egg has, about 30% or more. And they're used interchangeably. You can use a chicken or a duck egg to make a fried egg, a scrambled egg, an egg bake, or to bake baked goods. Recently, I've been making a lot of ice cream, pastas, and always making baked goods with duck eggs. So.
Well, I'm coming over for the pasta and the ice cream for sure. So what? Obviously, you grew up on a farm. So
I did. You say obviously, so I guess you know a little bit about my history.
I kind of know who your family is, and so and I'm assuming you were probably a 4-H'er.
I was.
Okay.
Always involved in food projects, but when I was growing up, we were milking cows, so I grew up on a dairy farm. We're not doing any dairy today. We support other farmers that do that, but we raise chickens, ducks, and pigs on our farm.
Okay.
Pasture-raised pigs.
Okay.
So everything's being raised with access to outdoors, organically.
Okay. So now are your meats available?
So we mostly take orders for our pasture-raised pork and chicken that's available seasonally.
Okay.
We'll have spring pork available next year, and then we'll have a fall season pork. And we also do pasture-raised chickens, so they're raised on pasture. That means they're raised outside in the summertime. They'll be available sometime between the summer and the fall.
Yep. Well, that's great. This is always, I've come every year. I have my favorites that I go around, and so I thought it was a great way to kind of, I garden all summer, and then there's nothing, that goes on here, in the wintertime. And so when I came up with the idea of coming and talking to you, I thought this is a great opportunity for people to get great food, local, supporting local farmers, and it's a really great day today because it is shop local for the holidays. So it really ties in together, and I know there's a really big movement of the farm to table type of thing too, which I'm sure you're part of, and really kind of stress that. But I just want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us today. We're going to visit with a few other vendors, and perhaps in closing here, how many more Saturdays is this going to happen?
So we are going to be here next Saturday, December 7th. That's also the Winterfest, Faribault Winterfest, so there'll be a lot going on downtown Faribault. On December 21st, we will actually be out at Keepsake Cidery in Dundas with most of the regular vendors from the Faribault Winter Farmers Market and more regional local vendors. They're going to do an outdoor market with a heated tent, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Great place to get some fun stuff for the holidays for your dinner table.
Right, Saturday before Christmas. And then after the holidays, we will be back here at the Paradise the second Saturday of January, February, March, and April.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And you can find all those dates on our Facebook page, the Faribault Winter Farmers.
Okay. And just as a note that while this broadcast will be on FCTV and on Facebook, we will also be posting this to the Faribault Winters Farmer Market too, so all your customers can kind of see what goes on here and maybe get a little bit better explanation of what's actually going on. So again, thank you, and I wish you continued success. It's going to be really awesome. I can't wait to finish this up so I can go buy my things, and I have my favorite. So thanks a lot, Tiffany. Take care. Okay, we're here at the table of Get Bent's Farms, and we have with us today.
My name is Jake Bentz, and we have a flock of 30 or so Icelandic sheep just outside of Northfield. They're a triple purpose sheep, so we do lamb meat, we do wool products. They're also dairy sheep, but we don't milk them. So the wool is naturally antimicrobial, and it's antibacterial. So this is hand spun yarn. My wife spins. This is machine spun. For the bedding, it's just a bed of wool inside. It's sewn in so it doesn't bunch up. You don't have to wash it. You just lay it in the sun to clean it. Wool dryer balls are a big hit with a lot of people. Lots of people know about those. They're way better than dryer sheets. This is a really great place for local farmers to come, sell their produce locally, and keep these small farms going.
Absolutely. So you also have some
my wife,
tastiness here.
My wife's into canning, so we've got some apple preserves, cranberry apple, there's some apple butter, apple jam. The apples are all organic from Woods Keep Orchard, which is over by, it's part of Keepsake Cidery.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for taking time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Jim Jerick from Jerick Family Farms, and I've been buying your honey and your maple syrup for years, so I am a big fan. Why don't you tell us about what you all have here, and give us a little bit idea about your operation and what do you like about the Winter Farmers Market?
Okay, well, all the product we have on the table is our own that we do. We do our own maple syrup. We have our own bees. So we have bees and trees, and we also added a line of beef product now.
Okay.
We do carry snack sticks and hamburger and a full line of steaks and roasts and that. We've got also I do have some salmon.
Okay.
I do sell salmon. That I did go out and catch in Alaska.
You
so
did?
I venture out there, and a kind of an interesting thing is I've got a bunch of guys out there that we fish with that come out and help us during the syrup season. So we do shift trade, and so they're coming. 3 of them are coming out to help for the maple season.
It's bringing back that old-fashioned barter system, which really goes great with this.
So I work on the boat, and they come and help in the woods. So
that's
it
awesome.
kind of goes back and forth, and they're real excited about coming out again this year.
And you both have, you all have that passion for this type of thing anyway, so it really kind of works well together.
And it's a family operation. I got my niece here, Emma, helping today, and then my son is very much, and I've got 5 kids. We're all involved with the operation, and they all help out. And so I do a lot of markets. I go to Minneapolis markets and Faribault. I enjoy the Faribault market the most of any, though, because I grew up in this area, so I know people here.
Definitely.
And our product has been being sold here for almost 30 years now. So, we've established quite a relationship with the people here. And I don't have to sample much here because people just come up and buy. They know it's going to be good. So
I know last year I bought a different honey from you. It was a little darker.
Yes, we do have some of that again this year. It's a fall honey that has very little clover in it. It was taken off late in the season, so it's got some goldenrod and more native flowers, a little bit of aster in it. It has a little tang to it, but it smooths out very fast, and people really like it. And I think it helps with allergies that you have in the fall more.
I've actually done a little bit of reading about that.
Right. So this one would have, this was harvested during the ragweed season, so a lot of your honey is earlier than that. That's clover honey, and the ragweed isn't even blooming at that time. So we feel that it's a good honey and we do a split. We basically have an early season and a late season honey. And I've already sold out of all the early season honey.
Well, that's great.
I don't even have an option to give you because I've been going to so many markets this year, and the honey has been really moving fast, and so we're right down.
Well, when you have a good product,
so
you can't beat that.
And our maple syrup has been really doing well. We expanded our operation, and we're running a couple thousand taps now. And, it's just growing from 300 up to a couple thousand now, and actually we're expanding this year another 1,000 taps. So.
I think I read somewhere that once in a while you do give tours out at your farm.
Right. We're going to be doing more of that. We did put up a new sugar house this year, so we have a commercial kitchen out there, and we'll be able to have food and entertainment and have people out there, and that'll be nice. And so we're looking forward to this season. We still got a lot of work to get it all put together, but we're planning on having usually an event every weekend. So.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking some time, and good luck with your season, and I hope you sell out of everything.
Oh, yes. All right. Thanks a bunch.
We're here with Dan Abelman from Abelman Orchards. We have a little bit of a connection. We've known each other for a really long time. We went to high school together just a couple of years ago, right?
That was like 12?
12 years ago, absolutely. But anyway, tell us a little bit about your operation and where you're located at.
Okay, we're located west of Faribault, out by the Roberts Lake area. We run 20 different varieties. We open up around Labor Day. We run 12,000 trees. We try to start out early, August, Labor Day, and last year we had apples to March and stuff.
Oh, did you really?
We really try to get a long
season.
Yep.
So do you have bigger coolers in your barn out there?
Right.
Because I have visited out there. So.
Yeah, we have large coolers with a lot of good airflow. That's what we're finding out, the key to keeping the apples long and stuff. Then we run a lot of different varieties like the Pizzazz and like the B51, new variety, and I'll have a new one coming out next week called Evercrisp, which is half Honeycrisp and half Fuji.
Okay.
So
who developed that apple?
That was developed out in the eastern United States, out in Ohio.
So now the newest apple that the university introduced this year in the open market was First Kiss. Do you have any of those yet?
Correct. Yeah, we don't have any left, but we run 900 trees of them.
Okay.
So we'll have
Did you find that a big success for you this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Great early eating apple, hard, everything crisp, very nice for early season variety.
Now, I know a little something about another source that you're using your apples for, and I like a good cocktail, so I know that you collaborate with Keepsake Cidery, and they use some of your apples to make their cider, and Keepsake Cidery is just located just outside of Dundas here, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, Nate and I, he gets a hold of me, and he uses a lot of our varieties for the blends. He's really specific about what he puts in his cidery, and it turns out really well. I was up there last week when they had the market up there on Sunday, and it's fantastic. So we also use the Keepsake apple, which is an older apple. So there is an apple called the Keepsake.
Yep.
So that's how that's going.
Okay. So what do you like best about Farmers Market here?
The people. The people are fantastic. There's a mix of everything. Everyone's so friendly, it's a hometown thing. Every year you come and you meet the same people, you meet new ones. I've never, it's open arms.
And having grown up in Faribault, and your mom is very well known, I'm sure it's kind of like, a big social event for you. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, best of luck to you here. I want to thank you for taking some time for talking to us.
Thank you, and I wish everyone happy holidays and stuff. And,
okay, well, Merry Christmas to you too.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're here with Kath Gardens, and why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your operation?
Sure. My name is Jennifer Kath, and I am essentially Kath Gardens. I am from Medford, so we live just out in the country. I've been growing vegetables for about 5 years now, and so my garden is about a half an acre.
Oh, wow.
My real job, though, is I actually work locally here at the hospital, so I'm a registered dietitian.
Okay.
And so I sell my vegetables in a farm stand by my house, and then whatever's left over I process for the winter market. And so some of the most popular items are this hot cumin squash pickle. So this is out of desperation of what to do with all the extra squash. And this has been really popular this year. It's purple sauerkraut made from red cabbage.
Oh, wow.
It was a tough growing season, but the cabbage did really well at my place anyways. And the other thing I have is this is a classic cucumber relish. And what makes this product really unique is that it's made with fresh celery. And then new this year is I am making pesto, basil pesto and sun-dried tomato pesto. And I have some examples right here. It's a frozen product. This is the basil pesto. And then this is the sun-dried tomato pesto.
Oh, wow.
And so this was really like 3 years in the making of picking the vegetables, growing the herbs, and going through the whole licensing process to have it available.
And so basically being a dietitian, you're really striving towards a healthy product.
Simple things that people enjoy that they can incorporate into their day, into their meals. And that tastes good too. So
well, I know with like your the pickled items, there's a big movement into the adding the fermentables into your diet. That's good for a gut check, as they call.
Absolutely. So that would be like your sauerkrauts, certainly. So as long as it's fermented the right way, really basically with cabbage and salt. But then I like to get a little unique, and I'll add like onion and apple and things like that add more of a really unique flavor. because I think it's very helpful just to kind of expand your palate, because we're kind of a meat and potatoes kind of, county. So just making things more interesting. And when they look beautiful, we eat with our eyes, and things need to look attractive to people.
And colorful too.
Yes, absolutely.
Now I know that you're also the brainchild behind the Medford Farmers Market, and that's been a couple of years now in the making.
Yep. So last year we moved out to the outlet center, so it's just kind of a change of location. Also provided a really great opportunity to meet a lot of traveling customers, because a lot of their customers that are coming are traveling from Iowa, Nebraska, things like that.
Right. So, okay. So what do you like best about being here at Farmers Market, the winter, especially the winter Farmers Market?
Oh, hands down, is just meeting the people, talking to the people. So people that come to farmers markets are really passionate about local food, and it's really nice to also see the variety of what people have, different vendors have.
Yeah.
So it's the connection.
And the nice thing about this, when you come, you come every week, and there's a different vendor here. I think you can attest to that, because there's comings and going, because there's some I noticed that aren't here. I'm sure it's holiday weekend and the weather, but anyway. So well, thanks for taking some time to talk to us with today. Good luck, and wish you a Merry Christmas, and let's add fermented foods to your holiday dinner table.
Yeah, absolutely. Or for your breakfast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're here with Regeneration Farms, correct? And what's your name?
I'm Tony Wells.
Okay.
And working on building a farm just north of Faribault, and we raise free-range chickens, and we have 40 acres of hazelnut trees that we planted a few years ago.
Okay.
And we've just started harvesting the hazelnuts, and we have our brand is Tree Range Chicken, and we raise we have a 1.5 to 2 acre paddock system where we raise the free range chickens outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are your chickens, are they laying chickens that you're actually selling eggs to, or just they're more for
meat chickens?
Meat chickens.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what we've been doing.
Okay. And so I see a bowl of garlic. Is that something that comes from your farm as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We also we've done some annuals. We've grown garlic the last 3 years.
Okay.
And we've planted asparagus last year, so we'll start harvesting that next year.
Okay, yeah, because it's a couple of years before you can get much out of that.
Yeah, so we've been trying to do as many perennials as we can.
Oh, great.
Our main focus is to kind of establish a new perennial system of agriculture, food production.
All right.
And then integrating animals and starting with the chickens.
So what do you like best about being at Farmers Market? I guess you said this is your first time here, so.
Yeah, first time, but it's been fun in just the first hour here, I already talked to a lot of people.
Great. So
it's been a good time.
Okay, well, we wish you continued success, and thank you for taking some time to talk to us today.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, we're here at Peaceful Valley Pastures, and we are with
Sue Wagner.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, your operation.
Well, we are a small family farm, very local. We're just west of Faribault.
Okay.
We raise 100% grass-fed beef.
Okay.
We use no chemicals or herbicides or pesticides on the pastures. We use no antibiotics or supplemental hormones on the cattle. And we use nothing genetically modified in our operation.
Awesome. So how big is your farm?
We own 102 acres, and we rent another 125.
Okay, and is that what you use then to grow your food supply for your...
The cattle graze spring, summer, and fall, and in the wintertime we feed them hay that we've harvested in the summertime.
So what's your biggest selling products that you have here, for those of us that are meatitarians?
Well, hamburger and steaks, I guess, are the biggest products.
So do you have a big run on like specialty meats now with the holidays coming up?
I think in the wintertime the stew meat is a popular thing too. Some people want roasts, but still hamburger is a big thing.
So I know you've been at this farmer's market in the past. What do you like best about the farmer's market, especially this winter farmer's market?
I enjoy farmers markets because you meet the people that you are selling to directly. And I think there's just that personal touch there that is really good. You can talk to them specifically about about your product. And I think that's really good.
Great. Okay, thank you for taking some time to talk to us today, and good luck.
Thank you.
We're at Whispering Creek Farms, and we are with
Brenda Manderfeld and
Beth Ann Hansen.
Okay, your voice came out pretty good there, so you need some honey for that. There's lots of honey vendors here. So tell us about what you've got going on here and tell us a little bit about your products. So
we started this in 2009. It's actually a 4-H project. It's actually soap made with goat's milk.
Okay.
We have Glamour and Eclipse here.
Okay.
And Beth Ann's been competing with them also at Steele County Fair.
Okay.
But this is a byproduct that we make. And so all the bars have about 10% of the goat's milk in there, so the vitamins and the proteins are also soaking into your skin.
Okay.
So it's all natural oils.
So is this milk coming from goats that you raise?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And then you'll find that this lasts longer than your regular commercial bars too.
Now you're pointing out that there's, I have an herb garden at home, but you said that there's some herbs and stuff in there? Yeah.
And this one's rosemary. So we have a little herb garden that bars rosemary, peppermint, then there's lavender, and then we also that lemon balm.
Okay, yes,
and
definitely.
And then anise is a new one that we're working on.
And there are some health properties to adding that into your skin. I'm assuming that you've kind of researched that out too.
Right.
And so are you an FFA'er?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, great. So, and I see a real resurgence in that program too as people are going back more to the farm. So, what do you like best about coming to this farmer's market? Because I know you've been here in the past, so.
We have a very strong following, and it really helps people with any type of skin conditions as far as eczema or psoriasis. We have the unscented, and it's a big answer for them so that they're not putting so many chemicals on their body.
And I suppose especially in the wintertime when your skin really dries out from the cold and you know, so. Well, anyway, I really want to thank you for taking some time to talk to us, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you at the upcoming farmers markets. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Okay. We're with Ophelia's Hope Alpacas, and you are?
Sarah Vielander.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you have here.
Well, I have 7 alpacas, and in the spring they all get their hair cut. And then I do trades with people and get all of these products made from the fiber from my animals.
Okay. So what type of dye, are these natural dyes that you're using?
Those are all the natural color.
Oh,
they're not dyed at all.
They're not dyed at all.
The only dyeing is in this one with the blue, but everything else is their natural color.
Okay, so are you the creator of the products, the knit products too?
No, I am the raiser of the animals.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I trade with people that do, so they keep some of the fiber and they make these things for me and send them to me.
Okay. So, and then this is a little interesting here.
Yeah, those are dryer balls. Those have become quite popular.
Okay. You know, I've seen them from across there with his sheep, and so this is a little different with the alpaca fur. So, but it has the same properties as what a sheep would do. So, okay. So, what do you like best about coming to farmers market?
Well, I kind of like to go to the other stands and do some snacking. That's my favorite.
I love honesty. It's awesome.
But it's nice. I like to talk about my animals. I really enjoy having them. They're a good stress reliever for me for my real job. So I really enjoy telling people about my animals.
So a quick question, Ophelia's Hope. There has to be some history behind that name.
Well, Ophelia is a Shakespeare character.
Okay.
So I've kind of got a Shakespeare theme with the names of most of my animals. That were born on my farm. They've all gotten Shakespeare names.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time. Anyway, we're here with the Greenstead, is what it's known coming up here. It's actually coming from the name My Sweet Greens, and we are here with
Jayne
and Dean Breadlow.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your business and what inspired you to start this.
Well, what inspired us was a failed gardening attempt.
And love honesty in the gardening world.
Honesty, and so Dean started looking at season extension options.
Right, so season extension options in Minnesota are really difficult to come by because everything has to survive 20 degrees below zero.
Yes.
And all this hoop house and heated greenhouses, it's pretty expensive, especially to start up with. It doesn't matter the size you are. So microgreens kept coming up on all my searches, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have some real vegetable I could grow. Well, finally I relented. I looked into it and started growing some just because that's what I could do in the middle of winter. And oh my gosh, these things taste so good. It tastes just like the vegetables should taste like, but not that woody, stringy.
Yeah. Well, fresh is always better anyway.
And the fresh, and at this stage, these are so nutritious. We didn't realize, well, Jayne did all this research. I just wanted to eat it because it tasted good. I didn't care, they're nutritious, great. But Jayne did all this research and found out that these are 40% more nutritious per serving or per ounce than what the regular vegetables are. The same vegetable.
So what are your products here?
So we have our Classic, which is a broccoli, kale, cabbage, kohlrabi blend. And we have our sweet pea, which is like a sugar snap pea. These are nice crunchy shoots. Sunflower shoots, high in protein. People love these smoothies, soups, that kind of thing. Zesty mix, our most popular, arugula and mustard greens. And then our radish blend, which is a blend of 3 radishes.
And then where are you located? Are your growing ranges at?
We're growing in Zumbrota.
In Zumbrota?
Farm in Zumbrota.
Okay. So what are your favorites?
Mine is the zesty.
Zesty? Okay. And so you just add them on top of salads, or can you eat that just like a salad in of itself?
You could mix it with salad. You could eat it as a salad if you want to do a combination of them, or add it into your sandwich, your soups, your stir fries.
Oh yes, especially a sandwich, because you just want that little pop of
radish and eggs.
Yeah. And so I'm sure this would be a great thing to add to some salads now for the holiday time. Get a little bit of nutritiousness in the meal, despite all the cookies and the eggnog and all that.
In addition
to, of course, yes, absolutely.
And I actually have a holiday salad recipe coming out this week, so watch for that. It's going to have a new blend we have coming out.
Okay, super. And so what do you like best about Farmers Market here?
What I like about the Farmers Market is we get to meet the consumers, we get to educate, and we get to see how people really enjoy what we enjoy, our products.
And I'm sure, especially at winter's Farmers Market, it's kind of nice because you're indoors and it's warmer.
It's indoors, and we are in the middle of the winter offering something green and fresh.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time with us today, and I wish you continued success. And happy holidays to you.
Thank you so much. And the same to you.
Thank you. So another great feature of this winter farmers market, as well as even the summer farmers market, is a line of health clinics has teamed up with a lot of farmers markets, and you can go up to the Alina clinics and hospitals and you can ask for Alina bucks, and then you take them to your farmers markets in the area here in Faribault, and or even our winter's farmers market, and it gives you a couple dollars off your order. So it's a great way. They're promoting the healthy food life, and you're getting a lot of homegrown food here, and so this is another great feature that make sure to take advantage of. So we're here with Medford Creek Honey, and this is, besides Jerk's honey, this is my second favorite honey because they do some really cool things with some infused honeys that are really, really good. And they have my favorite habanero honey. And we are with...
I'm Carl Hunt.
Okay.
And we operate Medford Creek Apiaries out of Medford, Minnesota. My wife and I and our 3 little kids are all involved in this operation.
Okay. So now you kind of have a little bit of a display here that's a little different if you've got your stand next door where you're selling honey, but why don't you talk a little bit about what you've got here and what you're trying to demonstrate and get across to the customers here.
So today we brought some stuff to kind of demonstrate how beekeeping works and kind of illustrate a picture of who we are and what we do. And so I've got some different props here. I've got some bee suits and my smokers and some of my common tools. I brought a mock-up hive that I can take and pull apart and show the different components of and how the honey looks within its raw form coming right out of the hive.
Okay.
So within this hive, brought some actual frames that are full.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be your capped honey coming right out of the hive. This will be the most natural state that you'd have.
Okay.
This frame is set aside yet because this is a comb frame. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to cut my squares of comb out of this.
Okay.
And sell this as
you can just smell the fragrance to it.
Yep.
So
some of the other frames here, these have been already extracted this year, and these are post-extraction.
Okay.
And these we're going to give right back to the bees. So come springtime next year, they're going to get these frames right back to reuse and refill again.
So obviously there's no bees in here. What happens to your bees in the wintertime?
So my bees are all at home in their colonies at home yet.
Okay.
And we set them up for the wintertime. A couple things got to happen in order to successfully winter bees in Minnesota.
Okay.
They will take and live through the cold, but we have to manage the mite population. The mite population is the most detrimental to the colony size.
And that is really a big issue across the country.
Yeah, it's a big issue. So we manage several different techniques in a natural method.
Okay.
We try to be chemical free.
Okay.
We are chemical free. We use several natural chemicals, such as oxalic acid and stuff that we treat with. The second most important thing to wintering bees is going to be ventilation. So as these bees live in this box throughout the winter, they're going to twitch their muscles and they're going to create heat.
Okay.
That heat is going to rise to the top of the lid, to the roof, and it's going to hit that cold lid and it's going to condensate and it's going to rain back down on it.
Oh, okay.
So ventilation is the second most important
Interesting.
thing.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So we got several different techniques for ventilation that we utilize, and we got to make sure that each colony needs approximately 90 to 100 pounds of honey to survive, to feed on for themselves to make it through the winter.
Okay. All right. So, and then this is
my most important tool. Even over the top of the veil, the bee smoker is going to be your most important tool. This bee smoker is going to do a couple different things. It's going to, when you give a little smoke to this hive, it's going to mask the pheromone. It's going to mask the alarm pheromone. It's that first bee that comes out, he sees you messing with his hive, is going to emit a pheromone for danger, an alarm pheromone. The smoker is going to mask that, and it's going to not allow the other 60,000 bees that are in here to come rushing out and defend their house.
All right.
The second thing it's going to do, it creates kind of a mock forest fire. That mock forest fire is coming along. Those bees realize they're in danger. They got to leave their house. They're going to gorge themselves with honey.
Yep.
Once they're full of honey, they're not quite so in the attack mode.
Okay.
So.
Quick question. I've seen it, like people post pictures on Facebook or social media about swarms of bees that, what's the best thing if you ever come across a swarm? What should you do?
So a swarm of bees is really docile. When I collect swarms, I wear minimal protective clothing.
Okay.
They have no honey, they have no larvae, they have no eggs at that point to protect. They're just looking for a new home.
Okay.
And they're typically only going to be there for a day or two at the most. When they're staged in that swarm, their scouts are out looking for their new home. So they're flying back and forth looking for their new home. Once they find that new home, that whole swarm is going to carry off and go to that new home.
Okay.
So do not harm that swarm. Look on the internet, find your local beekeepers. Most of them guys are more than happy to come and pick their swarms up. And
so is that common for like leaving an operation like yours for your honey bees to leave and swarm, or is that just something that's out in nature?
Yep, it's just like your kids. You have 10 kids at home and your house is busting at the seams, and you finally say, all right, I'm going to take you 5 and we're going to another house.
Okay.
You can stay back here, you 5, and your dad can stay back here.
Okay.
So they're kind of doing something similar to that.
All right.
So before they leave, they're going to create a new queen.
Okay.
And then when that new queen comes back, goes on her mating flight, and she's ready, the old queen is going to take a portion of this hive, and they're going to go off and they're going to seek a new home. And the new queen then is going to remain with that other last percentage of this, and that's how we populate. That's how everything works, and that's what they're doing. They're just populating beyond. They just grew too big for that hive, and they're going to move on.
Okay. And you've been doing this for about how long?
Well, it's about our 5th year into beekeeping.
Okay. All right. So, so what do you like best about coming to Winter Farmers Market here in Faribault?
This winter Faribault, or this winter market, has been my favorite market. The people here are so fun to talk to. The people at Faribault have been great people, just friendly people. And this is our 3rd year into this market.
Okay.
So a lot of repeat customers and just a lot of people that, we've kind of almost personally got to know.
That's great. That's great.
We haven't found that. I've done some different markets in the metro and stuff, and the people it's just a different group of people all the time. You never see those same repeat people, so you don't build that friendship.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for taking time today to talk about your honey operation. We're going to peek over next door and let Troy take a look at some of the fantastic honeys that you have over there. I think I remember talking to you in the past that your favorite is the habanero honey.
My habanero is my favorite.
And he puts it on ice cream.
I do. A good quality vanilla ice cream. The habanero on top of that is perfect.
And we use it in energy bites at home, and we've topped cornbread with it, so I can pretty much attest to that flavor.
That's another thing that's fun is talking to getting the feedback from the people. What have you done with this honey?
Yeah, that's really fun. And it's something that you can pass along to other customers, what you're hearing too, so that information sharing is great. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And let's pop over to the honey next door and see some really great flavors. We're with the other half of the Medford Creek Honey Farm, and you are?
Tiffany.
Okay. This is your honey, which now I know that you just have regular plain honey, but some of my favorites that you have are your infused honeys. So you want to talk a little bit about the infusions?
Absolutely. So what we do is we take our plain raw honey and then we infuse it with things like habaneros, chamomile, lavender, and so we'll let the honey absorb all the flavor, and then we'll take the lavender out, and then what you'll be left with is flavored lavender honey.
Okay. What seems to be your biggest seller here?
Our turmeric ginger lemon is by far our biggest seller.
Really? And how are people using that?
They're putting it on their toast, in their tea. Some people just take a teaspoon a day.
Okay. And I know that there's a lot of health benefits to local honeys too for allergies, and that I've read enough about it. So are you finding people coming back and saying that they're having a little bit better, easier time with some allergies?
Yes, we have a lot of repeat customers that are coming back, and even when we're not doing markets, kind of in that meantime, they're calling us and saying, I need to get some of this.
So now you've got some soap products and then some balms there. Are those coming from your beeswax from your?
Yes, so those all include our honey and our beeswax.
And so do you do those, or does somebody?
Yes, I do those.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys are busy.
We're very busy, yes. Keeps us busy. It's great.
So anyway, thanks for taking time to let us stop by and talk about your honey. And like I said, I love honey, and it's a standard in my house. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this segment. I'd like to thank all of you for joining me on this little field trip today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'm looking forward to now actually going back and purchasing a few items. I just want to remind you that up until Christmas, this is going to be a weekly event here at the Paradise Center for the Arts. They do have a Facebook page called Winter's Farmers Market, so you can Faribault Winter's Farmers Market, so make sure you look it up. And if you have questions as far as when they're going to be here again, make sure you call the Paradise Center for the Arts. And just a reminder, on the 21st, if you want to take another little field trip, they will be out at Keepsake Cidery for just before the holidays. And I just want to thank the Paradise for letting us come in, and I want to thank all the vendors in there because they're truly passionate about what they do, and everybody wants that good food nowadays, and we had a great opportunity to meet those people. So for me to you, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you. Thanks and happy digging.